I've done a few shorts on the Bose Wave music sound system that I grabbed from Goodwill a few months back, but I figured it was finally time to give it its own full video. This is the Bose Wave Music System 2. Now, I've always loved Bose products ever since I first listened to a demo at a Best Buy once using the Bose headphones display that they had up, and I really enjoyed the quality of sound that they put out. I've actually been looking for one of these for a while now, and eBay and other places usually had them marked up pretty high, to the point that I didn't feel like I could afford one. Thankfully, my waiting paid off and I was able to find this one at Goodwill for only $15. Now, it didn't have the remote, which is absolutely necessary for the system because there are no buttons on it, but I was able to find this $10 replacement on Amazon. So $25 for the system was not bad. There's a few issues with the system that I'm going to get into here so you guys are aware of, so I could see why someone decided to donate it to Goodwill. But honestly, for me, for $15, it was still an absolute steal. And again, I will get into the reasoning as to why. So right now there's no discs in there. You can listen to the radio on this thing. It also has an auxiliary port, so you can plug in things like an iPod or an external playing device. I've also connected my cassette players to it, my portable ones, and it picks up the sound just fine and it sounds amazing. I love that the FM radio and stuff can be picked up without an antenna. You can just use the power cable connected to electricity and that kind of powers the radio, which is really nice. There is an FM radio antenna option you can plug in, I guess, for even better, pickup of quality of sound. So definitely going to look into getting that. But let's get into one of the big issues with this system and why someone decided to donate it to Goodwill and get rid of it. As you can see here, it has a 3-disc CD changer that you can add additional discs and you can switch between them when you play music. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. So the 3-disc CD changer just kind of makes grindy noises, and from what I've seen, it looks like an issue with the capacitors, which unfortunately I don't have the know-how on how to replace that. So for now, it's just going to be a showpiece on the bottom of the system. But when you do have it connected, I want to show you guys kind of what it sounds like. So let's go ahead and get it plugged in and let you hear what it sounds like. So from what it sounds like, it's going through each of the trays looking to see if there's a CD in there, but it just doesn't sound good, if that makes any sense. I've put in some discs in it and it kind of just makes even more grinding noises to the point that I think it might actually be scratching the discs. So I stopped doing that right away. And the only way to eject those discs is by turning it off, turning it back on, and it'll spit out the disc. Now, the top CD tray works. Unfortunately, if you go and listen to a CD right away, you run into this problem. So as you can see, it's stopping at every few seconds because it is having trouble reading the disc. Again, this sounds like it's an issue related to the capacitors in the system. However, when I have this turned on for at least 5 to 10 minutes for the whole system to warm up enough, it works fine. So initially, I was like, okay, this doesn't work at all, but I left it on long enough. I left a CD in there and then tried playing it again, and it was playing it without any issues after that time period, which is really strange. And I mean, it's older electronics, so it's bound to happen. So what I do now is I just unplug the bottom part of this system. Thankfully, it comes separate, so you don't have to worry about it staying plugged in. And I kind of just leave it as a little, I guess, mount for the top part. The top part is still great. I still love listening to music on it. If I want to listen to a CD right away, unfortunately, that's not an option because I need the system to warm up. I've seen a few videos online, like I said, and yeah, replacing capacitors is likely the fix for this. And if at some point I get comfortable enough to do that, I may do it, but as of right now, I don't have the confidence or the know-how exactly on how to do that. But I still think it's a really great system, and I love the look of it. Obviously, the color has faded a bit on the plastic, but to me, that doesn't matter. That kind of adds to the aesthetic of it being an older system. It's absolutely great for listening to the radio, and I still do want to get that FM radio antenna add-on. Ever since I moved this system to my garage, I noticed that it has a little bit more trouble picking up the stations. even though it's not that far from where it was previously in my room. But yeah, if I can get that FM antenna, then it'll probably sound a lot better in here. As mentioned, you have the antenna jack, you have your headphone jack, which is also cool, and an auxiliary in, which, as you know, someone that likes listening to iPods and cassette players and stuff like that, it's great because I can just plug them in through an auxiliary cable and listen to them that way. The bottom part did have an option for additional speakers, but honestly, this system sounds so good, and I think Bose really did a great job with the quality of it. I also added this little Velcro thing just to keep the remote here. Bose has this habit, and Apple does too, of these tiny little remotes that are so easy to get lost. So I just decided to put this Velcro on the remote and the side of the system. So when I'm not using it, I always go and put it there rather than try to figure out where the hell I left the remote. But yeah, guys, that's the video. I absolutely still love this system. I wish everything was working on it. But the fact that I could still listen to CDs on the top area, and I could still listen to the radio and my iPod when I have it connected, is still great. It sounds amazing. I had it blasting in here in my garage the other day, and it just sounds so darn good. So if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to hit like down below. If you're new to my channel, please make sure to subscribe for more retro tech and retro gaming content. Also, make sure to leave a comment down below so we can talk about the video or anything in general that you want to talk about. I absolutely love having conversations with you guys and hearing your stories as well about things you may find at thrift shops or about just the content that's on the video. So enjoy the rest of your day. Take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.